Hi everyone, welcome to Diamond Dog Training, where we give you positive, effective training tips to help you train your dog. Have you just adopted a new dog, or do you have a new puppy? Or would you like to ensure that the dog you have in your house will never growl when someone approaches them while they're eating? Well, this video is going to give you many tips to help you to prevent food bowl guarding. But first, I want to dispel a wives' tale. Has anyone ever said to you, oh, while your dog's eating, just go up and pull the bowl away, and that will teach your dog not to guard its food? Well, if you think about it, it's exactly the opposite. I always look at it as if I'm sitting at the table and I have this plate in front of me. And I've got some ham on the plate and I'm cutting it and I'm ready to eat it. And just as I go to eat it, someone comes up and whisks the plate away. Well, I'm startled the first time and the plate comes back and what was that all about? And just as I go to eat it again, or maybe I do get one piece eaten, and I'm going to eat the second piece, and just as I go into it, the bowl is whisked away. So, what's going to happen by the third time? I'm going to be ready. I'm going to sit there, and I'm going to be guarding my plate, and nobody is going to get my plate. I'm going to eat it. Isn't that exactly the same thing that you teach your young puppy, or you teach your dog, or especially if you have a rescue dog who has already had a life where they may not have been in a situation where they could trust their owner? Aren't you telling your dog, don't trust me? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a list of exercises, and this will help you to learn how to prevent food bowl guarding. Now, this video is being made for the dog that does not guard at the moment. This is for your dog that you just want to ensure will never guard. If you have a guarding problem, if when you approach your dog, the dog growls, well, I think it's time to contact a professional. Call a certified professional dog trainer who uses positive methods to help you. Now, couple of the things I'm going to mention, yes, they are also very good to work with a dog that is already guarding. But right now, we're going to work with that puppy or that young dog, and Nikki is going to help me, and we're going to go through all of the exercises to ensure that your dog does not guard their food bowl. YouTube recently changed the way they monetize my content. My channel now needs 1,000 subscribers. It would be awesome if you could show your support by watching my videos and subscribing to my channel if you haven't already done so. Monetizing my videos allows me to invest back into the channel with new equipment and be able to produce higher quality videos for you. Thank you so much for your support. When I first get a new dog, whether it's a puppy or rescue, the first thing I want to do is make sure that my new dog believes that my hands are good, that everything good comes from my hands. So the first thing I do is I hand feed at least part of every meal to my new dog. So I'm going to hand feed a third of the meal to Nikki, and then we're going to start with the puppy food bowl exercises, which will prevent food bowl guarding. First thing I do is take the meal and divide it into 3 parts. If this is the meal that my dog is going to have, then this is half a cup. So I'm going to take a third of it and this is going to be the amount that I am going to be hand feeding my dog. The second third I will put into the bowl, and I will cheese to the bowl, and when that is empty, I will pick up the bowl and I will add the second third, and this is the bowl that my dog will have, and I will be adding cheese to the bowl. This is how I feed my dogs. Okay. I'm going to hand Nikki a piece of food and hand her another piece. And I will do this until I've completed about a third of the dinner. Once I have fed a third of the dinner, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the second third and I'm going to put it in the bowl. And then I'm going to give the bowl to my dog. Now, I always start out with a bowl that's larger than I really need. Why? Because I want to have room to drop a yummy piece of cheese into that bowl. Okay, so here we go. This is not an exercise to teach her to wait for her dinner or to stay or any of the words you use. This is an exercise to teach her that hands are good and she should never guard her food bowl. So I'm going to give her the bowl. This is not her bowl. It's a larger bowl. And while she is eating, I'm going to drop in a piece of cheese. And she's eating, I'm going to drop in a piece of cheese. Now, you know, if you take your dog's meal and you divide it into 3, it probably doesn't have much food in the bowl. But that's the idea. You only pick up the food bowl when it's empty. So I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to put the next third of her meal in the bowl. Okay. And I'm going to give it to her. Good. And while she's eating that, what am I going to do? I'm going to drop in a piece of cheese. Now you see my hand is coming close to her mouth while she's eating. So this is just guaranteeing that when a hand approaches, your dog is going to believe that it's good. And what you're looking for is this, that as soon as she finishes the bowl, she starts to look up at you and wag her tail, because that's what it's all about. Wag your tail so that everybody knows that you only pick up the food bowl when it's empty, and Nikki knows that when it's empty, you're going to put more in it. So, okay, and I'm going to drop in another piece. So this is the first part of the food bowl exercise. And when you have a new dog, I usually hand feed at least a third of the meal for 4 or 5 days. And then the other 2/3 for the next 4 or 5 days, the same days, I will drop in a piece of cheese or a yummy piece of chicken or hot dog while they're eating their food. Now, Nikki wants some more. So we're going to go on to the second part of this exercise. Second part of this exercise is I'm going to put the food bowl down. She's going to eat it. I'm going to kneel down with her while I drop in the cheese. So I'm close to her as I'm dropping in the cheese. Once again, I'm only picking up the bowl when it's empty. And when it's empty, we pick it up and we put some more in. So now that was step 2. And if you have a dog who starts to eat quickly or isn't comfortable when you kneel down, then you go back to just walking up and putting a treat in while they're eating. But if all goes well, and the next step will be that as you drop in the treat, you're going to be stroking your dog. So I'm going to put the food bowl down. I'm going to eat, going to drop in the treat, and I'm going to pet Nikki as she is eating the food. So once again, I'm not going to pick up the bowl until it is empty. So now we know that we can put the food bowl down on the ground, we can drop in the treats, and we can pet our dog while they are eating. So what is the next step? The next step is for you to sit down on the ground. Totally. Put the food bowl in your lap, and as your dog is eating their food, you're going to be dropping your hand into the bowl with treats. You're going to actually having your dog eat the food right out of your hand as they are eating. Now she's eating all of her food and I'm petting her. So this is the complete puppy food bowl exercise, which will help to prevent food bowl guarding. This should take a couple weeks so that by the time you are sitting on the floor, dropping in the treats, and your dog is eating their food as you are putting treats in the bowl, your dog should be pretty comfortable with you. Then you start with other members of your family, adults first and then children, so that your dog will always feel comfortable with you being around their food bowl. Only when you've gone through all of these exercises do you think about removing the food bowl when there's food in it. And you'll get to that point because as you approach your dog while they're eating, they're going to think one thing. Oh boy, here they come with some treats. Oh boy, they're going to bring me something. So what happens is as you approach, they're going to lift their head and look at you even though there's food left in the bowl. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Diamond Dog Training. You can go to the playlist above where you can learn about all the other training exercises that we have, as well as subscribe to our channel with our subscribe button, which is listed below. Thank you, and have a great day from Diamond Dog Training, from Nikki and from Joyce. Bye-bye.